whether you've got an off-grid cabin or a, something small like electronics, but it is all going to be based on your application. Now, I have just purchased some land not too far from my location here, and several acres, and I'm going to be building an off-grid cabin. And with that off-grid cabin, I'm going to be using a lot of the BLUETTI products for off-grid living. Now, let's go check out the shop, and I'm going to show you what we've used this BLUETTI power stations for. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Now, I'm here at Street Farms, and they rely on a lot of equipment, whether they're planting corn, cotton, soybean, wheat, or whatever they out in the fields out there, as you can see out the back hangar door. But when they're out in the field and they need equipment to run smoothly, to be efficient while they're planting their crops. But sometimes you run into issues like equipment failure. You need to fix equipment on the go. So the AC500 is a 5,000 watt inverter, and it's coupled to the B300K, which is a 2,764-ish watt-hour battery. Now, this thing is split phase bonding, meaning it can achieve 240 volts output for heavy-duty devices. So this plasma cutter should be able to plug into that, and this system should be able to handle it. Now, it's expandable capacity to tailor your energy storage from 2,764 watt hours to 16,588 watt hours. So you can expand this battery to almost 17,000 watt hours. Now, it has a LiFePO₄, which is a lithium iron phosphate battery, and it delivers over 10 years performance and reliability. Now, this is great for home backup or in a shop, because a 24/7 UPS backup, which stands for Uninterrupted Power Supply during unexpected outages. And we had tornadoes, we had power surges, we had lights flicker, and we had heavy winds. Now, what's really amazing with this thing, it has over 16 versatile outlets for 99% devices. Now, it has an efficient solar input of 80%, and you can charge this thing in 1.5 hours and put up to 3,000 watts of solar power into this system. And if you still want more power, you can handle up to 8,000 watts dual charging when you combine AC and solar to this. So if you have a solar power panel and normal grid power, you can pump up to 8,000 watts of power into this system. All right, so before we start, I need to let you know that if you're already going to use this expandable battery, the B300K, you need to get a special cord, which is the P150D to the P090D. That cable is required to expand that battery to this system. So let's go check it out. Let's see if this plasma cutter will work and see if this system can handle it. So right here, we're going to use the Hobart plasma cutter, and Farmer Chris is going to be cutting some metal, and then we are going to plug it into the AC500. The front of the unit, we've got 3 20 amp outlets here. So your normal 110s and normal products. And then we bump it up. We have 2 30 max outlets, and then we have a 50 amp. So this thing can power a camper or some of your bigger units. You do have AC output, which is a 12 volt DC, which is a 30 amp. Now, what's really cool about this now is a lot of you that had diesel heaters were having your stuff knocked off because it couldn't power up. The 12 volt was only supplying 10 amps. But what the AC500 did, they added an extra 12 volt DC 30 amp plug to that. So that's also a upgrade on that. You do have your DC output, which you have 2 USB-C 100 outlets, and then you have your USB-A, which are 18 watts, and you have 4 of those. I don't know why power stations don't put more USB-Cs on there, the 100 watts, because a lot of the new equipment has USB-Cs. Now, the top of the unit, you have 2 wireless charging pads, which are 15 watt outlets. And as you can see, I put my phone on there and it started charging. Now, the power cord I was telling you guys about that you need to get is right here. You have, they will give you the stock cord to come with it, but you need to purchase this cord here separately. And when you do connect that to the units, make sure that you do hit the lock button all the way up and to turn the power on. And you do have a really crisp computer screen. You have DC and AC buttons out there. And then you have your monitor, your PV, which is solar power panels coming in, your DC load along with your grid power and your AC load. So you can monitor everything from here, and you can also download the app to monitor it from your phone.
Okay, I'm going to see what kind of load it draws when you did that. Anytime you're ready. Yep.
Okay, folks, it jumped up to 4,000 watts. So this thing is handling we're able to cut.
The clean cut there.
Okay. So the system can handle it. I seen it peak at 4,700 watts.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So yeah, this is amazing. Okay. There you go, folks. This BLUETTI system here, which is mainly used for home off-grid use, which I'll be doing in my new cabin that I'll be construction, and that's going to be constructed soon. But he uses it. He could take this system out in the back of his work truck, and if he needs to do online repairs out in the field, this system would be able to do it. So you can see he's cut some clean lines. All right, gang, there we go. We have just cut a whole bunch. We cut some pieces of metal. We also wrote BLUETTI in there. And so what I think about the AC500 and the B300K, this thing is a beast. Perfect for home off-grid use and perfect for something in a shop or a work environment. So I'm very impressed with this unit, and I'll put the link in the description below.
In the situations where you're away from the shop, like we are a lot of times working in the field, and having something that you can take to the field that you don't have to have buy extra tools or something. We already got this shop, but having a power station like that definitely helps.
Yeah, we can, throw it on the back of the truck. If you needed to cut something or weld something or something out there, they can call back on the radio. You can throw this on the truck and then head out to where they're at, and he's got power out there. So, if you're looking for a great power station, not only for the home use, but also in your shop, if you're doing maintenance, because they do a lot of maintenance and work here in the shop here. But you want to check out the BLUETTI, and like I said, you can expand these up to 18,000 watts, and that's a lot of power. So check out the AC500 and the B300K. You can add on up to, I believe, 4 batteries on this system, jumping it up, so you can power pretty much everything you need. So we want to thank Farmer Chris for showing us and testing out the BLUETTI power station on his plasma cutter. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, good to do it.
So if you got any questions, pop them in the comments below. I'll put the link in the description of that. Subscribe, like, and comment. Check out our Patreon webpage and become a subscriber and a patron. You can support Hoku and I on our adventures. Till the next video, this is Ben Semper, Gumbie out.